Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our worldwide audience and IIUans. I, Professor Nada Ratkovic, the co-founder of IIU Europe, the president of IIU Research Center, country director Croatia, and board member of IIU, heartily welcome all you today from the side of International Internship University on this auspicious occasion of the G20 Summit 2023, jointly organized with the Next Produce Revolution, with our presidency today on the topic entrepreneurship and micro, small, and medium enterprises, the MSMS. So, today we will celebrate, collaborate, communicate, catalyze changes to contribute the citizenship, community, and country. Our Sir founder, Sir Piyush Pandit, the visionary educationist, always had a dream to provide education to every learner across the world. He believed that the world's changing drastically, so there is no need to make changes in education system. With this thought, he concocted the world's first digital internship university, IIU, in 2020. So IIU is providing quality, skill-based, affordable, accessible, location-independent, and skill-based digital education to all learners across the globe, along with internship opportunities, research facilities. Uh, Marty, please, can I, okay. IIU has been accredited and affiliated with World Education Organization, International Accreditation Organization, United Nations, and collaborated with world's top universities and educational institutions. Span its wings in 195 countries, 6 continents, with a team of 1,000 plus experienced and qualified global educators. So, it is accessible in every corner of the world for all the learners and without any financial stress. The group of 20, G20, is with us, and we are together making this great international global summit. It is a paramount platform for fostering international economic cooperation, pivotal in shaping and fortifying the global framework and governance concerning crucial economic matters worldwide. India is proudly assuming the presidency of G20 from December 1, 2022 to November 30, 2023, embraces the opportunity to spearhead the changes guided by resolution leadership of Dr. Srividhya Sukumar from United Arabian Emirates, a passionate educationist. She is unwavering the support from the esteemed IIU core committee and team, and we are prepared to unveil a transformative initiative. So IIU is poised to launch an empowering endeavor to revolutionize the world of women social entrepreneurs, today entrepreneurs and micro, small, medium enterprises, as I said at the beginning. So with the coming G20 summit being organized virtually, we have unprecedented opportunity to transcend geographical boundaries and bring together brilliant minds from all corners of the globe. So today we will make it again a marvelous event with amazing, esteemed global entrepreneurs, educators from all around the globe. So we are paving the way for a future where everybody can come with the collaboration, innovation, and collective determination. So let us join the hands, united in our pursuit of world where every individual, irrespective of their gender and circumstances, can unleash their full potential and contribute to the progress and prosperity of our global community. Together, we can make a lasting impact and create a legacy of equality for generations. So explore today the IIU's myriad benefits of internships and highlight and shape the student's future. Unlock your potential. Explore the world through internships from the 10th grade to higher education. Now, in this moment, when we are on this great summit, IIU founder Sir Piyush Pandit and IIU team are in India on the 6th day of the biggest interactive international program called BICUP. Wishing them today a great, amazing day. So we are together with all of you. Now, I want to give the stage to our great Sandy. So, Sandy, please, can you continue? Our amazing Sandy, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Nada. We're all aware of our G20 and the notions behind and the intentions behind this group on contributing to economic success as well as a sustainable environment, sustainable and prosperous environment. So on these lines, today we are here to talk about MSME with the main focus. So we begin with our first pointer. I would like to start off saying the development of MSME plays a crucial role in achieving several of the SDGs, especially SDG 1, 8, 9, and 11, which are no poverty, decent work and economic growth, and industry, innovation and infrastructure, and sustainable cities and communities. So to put on her thoughts here about this pointer, we have with us Dr. Parul Sharda, who's currently serving as an associate professor under College Code 28 and heads the management department at IMI, which is Indoor Management Institute. And it is one of the emerging B schools of Central India. She's been an academician with over 14 years of teaching experience. She is also the IIC President and Innovation Ambassador for the Ministry of Education, IMI Professional Studies. She also currently holds the position of MP State Convener, Research Foundation of India. She's also the MP State President of WICI, which is Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, where she heads the Financial Literacy and Management Council. She's also a trainer at the MSME Development Institute and ATDC, which is the Apparel Training and Design Center for Budding Entrepreneurs. And she's a faculty of International Business, Economics and Entrepreneurship and has 2 books to her credit, which are Macroeconomics, an Indian Perspective, and Minimalism, a New Lifestyle Statement. She's also authored Arthashastra for BA LLB first STEM students. And she has a kitty of many awards to her credit. So I'm just going to mention a couple of them. So she's been awarded the Teacher with Huge Potential by Research Foundation of India and World Federation of Science and Technology in 2019. And the Best Research Award in the area of management by Rula Foundation in Trichy, Tamil Nadu. She's also got awards for Best Presentation and also for the Development Goal 9, a Sustainable Development Goal 9. For Peace and Sustainable Development from Peace and Sustainable Development Summit 2021, and also the Global Empowerment Award. She's also a columnist at Free Press and Newstrack Live, and she believes that words are the powerful weapon for teachers, which can be used to bring a positive change in the society. So with all her knowledge sharing, she's been a resource person in many forums across India and also with IDA's in the Republic of Serbia. So it's a pleasure to have you here, ma'am. We welcome you once again and we look forward to your inputs on this topic.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much, Nada, for inviting me. And I am so grateful to each and every one of you that we all have got the opportunity to share our knowledge with at this eminent platform. I request someone from the team that if you can confirm me if the slide is visible.
Yes, Dr.
Yes.
Parul, it is great. And I want to say one more sentence before Dr. Parul starts. Dr. Parul is great human being, working a lot also for humanitarian social worker. And I can say in her institute, the management, she's giving a big, big contribution. So, Dr. Parul, thank you. Thank you for all what you are
Thank you
doing
so
for
much.
this society.
Thank you so much, Nada. We being the educator, it is very small contribution that we can play in our life to make the life of students better. And that is what me being the teacher is doing since last 14 years. So, I got very amazed to get this opportunity, because this micro, small and medium scale enterprises is only my area of research and during my PhD. And I have studied the export potential of Indore region in related to MSMEs. So I hope that I would be able to shed some light on this topic and would justify the topic at this platform. So starting with the development of micro, small and medium scale enterprises, I can say that the MSME sector is playing a pivotal role, a very important role. We can say it. We can say that micro, small and medium scale enterprises are serving as an engine to the economy and can bring a lot of change if given proper attention by the government, by the different economic authorities. Moving ahead, MSMEs, and when we talk about MSMEs and world economy, MSMEs are the backbone of many economies, representing approximately 95% of all the companies worldwide, and account for 90% of business, 60% of 60 to 70% of employment, and 50% of GDP all over the worldwide. I can say that the 50% of GDP which currently MSMEs are contributing, it can be enhanced to 70, 80, and 90% more, because MSMEs is a sector where grassroots level, where the people who are at the bottom of pyramid are contributing and can contribute more if proper attention can be given to this sector. So in developing economies, they contribute to around 35% of GDP, and in developed countries around 50%. So this particular figure, what we are telling, 35% of GDP in developing economies, should be given emphasis by all the economies, because if this 35% can be enhanced to more 55% or say 65% in the coming by 2030, by when we need to achieve the SDGs also. So this particular situation can enhance the MSME sector and the economy as a whole, the world economy as a whole. What MSMEs are contributing towards the society as a backbone of societies everywhere, MSMEs are contributing to local and national economies and to sustaining livelihoods. As ma'am who was introducing me has already shared that micro, small and medium scale enterprises is already related to some of the SDGs. We will be discussing further in the slides also, because these MSMEs are contributing to local economies as well as to the international economies and sustaining livelihoods. Nowadays, MSMEs are so powerful, so talented, so beautifully they are working that the MSMEs are exporting their articles to the different countries. That means they are manufacturing the products up to the international standards. So if lot of potential is there in MSMEs, why a proper channel, why a proper platform is not being given to MSMEs? So if particular attention is being given to MSME sector, a lot more can happen with the help of this sector. So sustaining livelihoods in particular among the working, poor, women's, youth, and groups in vulnerable situations as well. MSMEs hold the potential to transform economies, foster job creation, and promote equitable economic growth if given adequate support. That is what I was telling, that MSMEs are having a lot of potential to transform the economies in a better world, so that equitable and inclusive environment can be given in future to all. It can help in fostering the job creation. It has a lot of potential to generate lot of employment, so that a particular living standard can be achieved by everyone, so that poverty can be reduced, and so that it can promote equitable economic growth if given the equitable support. Now coming to MSMEs and SDGs. As we have already, discussed this, that micro, small and medium scale enterprises and sustainable development goals are so intermingled to each other, that if we support MSMEs, we can say that we are actually supporting the SDGs. Or if we are supporting SDGs, we can say that MSME is a crucial part, where if proper attention could be given to MSMEs, we can channelize the potential of MSMEs in a right direction. So the United Nations General Assembly designated 27th June as a MSME Day, Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day, to raise awareness of the tremendous contribution of MSMEs to the achievement of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. MSMEs are vital in achieving the SDGs. They are an important element in, especially in the implementation of SDG 8, that is decent work and economic growth, and SDG 9, that is industry, innovation and infrastructure. So whenever we are talking about the decent work and economic growth, the decent work situation is related to the proper facilities which government should give to micro, small and medium scale enterprises. And if proper attention and proper facility should be are given to MSMEs, they can contribute to the economy and to the global economy as a whole. So that means it is directly proportional to the economic growth as well, and it is the MSME's growth is directly proportional to the industrial growth. And we know that in every economy nowadays, innovation is taking place, and more innovative ideas are taking place. So if proper attention is given to these this particular sector, we can achieve SDG 8 and SDG 9 as well. So if we talk about MSME classification in India, because I am very proud to say that I am from India, because this year we are holding G20 presidency also. So let me shed some light on Indian MSME scenario also. So MSME's classification in India, previously it was differentiated to manufacturing enterprises and service enterprises, and this was the bifurcation of as you can see, the earlier MSME classification was more than 25 lakh. If the investment is there in manufacturing enterprise, it is called as micro enterprise, and if it is more than 5 crore investment, it is called as manufacturing small enterprise, and if it is more than 10 crore investment, it is called as medium scale manufacturing enterprise. Similar to this, when we say that investment, when it is more than 10 lakh, it is called as micro service enterprise. Sorry, and when the investment is more than 2 crore, it is called as small service enterprise, and when the investment is more than 5 crore, it is called as medium service enterprise. But as the government of India got to know that, or when they realized that there is a lot of potential in MSME sector, they have eased out the process of confusing process of differentiating manufacturing enterprises and service enterprises separately, and they have combined this particular thing, and they have given only one classification, that is manufacturing and service enterprises. If you can see the revised MSME classification in the slide, the composite criteria is based on investment and annual turnover. So when investment is greater than 1 crore and turnover is greater than 5 crore, it is called as micro enterprise now. And when investment is more than 10 crore and turnover is more than 50 crore, now it is called as small enterprises. And when investment is more than 20 crore and turnover more than 100 crore, it will called as medium enterprise. Now there is no bifurcation, because because people get confused that whether we are coming under manufacturing enterprise or service enterprise. So for easing out the process of establishing MSME and get the benefits of MSME sector, this particular revised classification has been given by the government of India. MSME sector is contributing about 1/3 of country's GDP and about half of country's exports, and is now spread all over the country and playing a pivotal role in manufacturing, trading and service sectors. India is home to a large base of 7.9 million registered. I repeat, 7.9 million registered MSMEs. The sector contributes 33% of country's total GDP and accounts for around 120 million jobs across industries and region. Contributing towards wealth creation at a grassroots level, the segment also consists of generally the neglected and small-scale enterprises like women's, marginal entrepreneurs, and local artisans. So if the country, if the government is giving efforts for MSME sector, for this neglected sector, it is actually a social work what the government is doing. As a step to enhance ease of doing business for MSMEs, the government introduced Udyam portal in 2020. Udyam means the business. Udyam portal in 2020. The portal enables entrepreneurs to utilize benefits from schemes introduced by Ministry of MSME for priority lending from banks. Total export destinations for Indian MSMEs in the year 2022 were UAE, Hong Kong, UK, Germany, China, and Belgium. Government initiatives to boost MSMEs in India. As India's GDP is poised to reach 5 trillion mark by 2028, by 2030, MSMEs would play a pivotal role in accelerating the country's progress towards milestone through heavy facilitation by the government. The government has taken number of initiatives like 5 lakh crore collateral free automatic loans for business, including MSMEs, Udyam registration for MSMEs for ease of doing business, no global tenders for procurement up to 200 crores, launch of online portal, champions to cover many aspects of e-governance, including grievance redressal and hand-holding of MSMEs. And with growing economy, MSMEs have a distinct opportunity to expand their reach and distribution globally. So by this way, the increase in exports has taken place, and now MSMEs are doing very fine in India. In conclusion, I would like to say that policies that strengthen capacities and support MSMEs development and entrepreneurship for women and youth need to be at the forefront to address those challenges, should remove barriers and provide an operating environment for women and youth-owned business to grow, hence contributing to the full achievement of SDG 1, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, and leave no one blind promise for the 2030 agenda of SDG and its SDG goals. The government from all over the world should also focus on supporting the resilient supply chains to ensure workers and environment benefits, because supply chains are the critical component of global trade and commerce. It is only the supply chain that all the countries are connected to each other. So supply chain should be given the proper emphasis, and conflicts, disasters, and pandemics can quickly impact their functioning, increasing cost and making transactions more difficult. Therefore, policymakers from all over the world and businesses must join forces to ensure economically viable, socially and environmentally sustainable supply chains in the benefit of the whole world. When talking about India, in conclusion, India's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliant economy, will only be possible when MSMEs are given a big push and tap the true potential of the sector. Timely introduction and effective implementation of policies will enable the sector to contribute even more to India's rising GDP in the near future, and India can become a rising economy and #1 economy soon in future. This is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Dr. Parul, what to say after your great presentation, after an amazing expert, I can say one of the best here, not only in India, from all around the globe. You explain us this topic, development of micro, small and medium scale industries, that I can say, if somebody don't know today, learn so much from you in this short time, because it was insightful with all the main information. You say us about the account of the businessman. You gave us the statistics. What about the developing economies? You say which is the backbone of societies, where what is the contribution on the local, national economies. and especially touching the United Nations and saying at 27 June what is in the classification in India. I never know this. This is today the first time that I learn about this in India, what's happening on this, and seeing this revised classification given to you. India is strong. It is really giving a big contribution, and I can say why. Because India has so great educators, researchers like great Dr. Parul. Dr. Parul, amazing. And yes, we forget at the beginning. Happy and blessed Friendship Day to all. I want to say, yes, I'm so happy to have Dr. Parul as an amazing friend and all here on this great IIU platform and our great audience and worldwide. A happy and blessed Friendship Day.
Same to you, Nada. Same to you, everyone. And I'm very blessed to have you all here. And I'm feeling very grateful to be present in this at this platform. And I hope that I have justified the topic, and I am eager to listen to all the different speakers and their viewpoints on the different topics.
It was really wonderful. Dr. Sani, what you say? What you say after our great Dr. Parul?
Yeah, definitely. She has put that what do you call the important perspective, or the how MSME can be the powerful agent, or it can be the catalyst in achieving that perfect world that we are all aiming for. And it is definitely I mean, the importance and the magnitude of the success and impact that we are expecting was beautifully explained by Dr. Parul, and definitely she had given a detailed view of India's current situation, and we all hope that each and every economy takes such inputs and bring them to be more powerful in this world. And having said that, thank you, Dr. Parul, once again. We shall now move on to the second pointer, which is to attract investments to uplift the industrial and social economy.
Dr. Sandy, let us come a little back. We have our guest speaker, and also I want to say a few things that today we didn't introduce. Here with us, with great Dr. Srividhya from the side of the G20, with great Dr. Sandy. And we have our IIU team. We didn't say it at the beginning, but I will come back. Our third Piyush Pandit, like our founder, he's our visionary, he's our leader. We have our great, amazing trustee, Dr. Roshni Lal from Australia. She's a strong, powerful woman. She's our role model. Then we have our great core team members, Dr. Virginia Rivera coming from Puerto Rico, Ms. Ermina Rascu from Romania, Dr. Inga Karchilova also here, but I didn't introduce them. Why? Because I say at the beginning they are now all in India on the bike up, so they are enjoying, and I hope they listen us, they hear us, and we are sending them big greetings from our great IIU stage, and our great core team members with us working very hard. And IIU is registered in more than 4 countries, in USA, in India, Australia, Nepal, and we are a strong foundation, and not only virtual university. We have a big school, international school, James School International, in a big eco village, where the whole celebration and the interactive session is going on with the educators coming worldwide. So many blessings to all. Dr. Srividhya, please, can you give us give us an introduction from the side of G20.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Nada, and thanks for all the speakers who have joined in today. And we have got our distinguished chief guest for the day. Dr. Queen is present amidst us. A warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Okay, let us introduce our great Dr. Queen. What to
Yes.
say about Dr. Queen? She is Professor Dr. Queen Elizabeth Lucas Apollo. She's an inspirational speaker, global advisor, youth mentor, entrepreneur, and she's a woman of multi-skilled and gifted, talented writer, publisher. She's an award-winning author of Yes You Can and many other books, also co-author. She's the global queen of inspiration, author of greatness, woman of wisdom, obtaining double honorary bachelor degrees awarded in business management at the University of Notre Dame, United Kingdom, and business, marketing, customer care, administration. She's serving as school parent governor in United Kingdom, awarded Secretary of the Year. She's a mindset and transformation coach, relationship and family mentor. She was honorary awarded professional counselor of IIU. She's our great advisor. She has so many honorary doctorates in psychology, counseling, in many institutions, recognized for her contributions to humanity, community. She's awarded, she's trustee and board of many organizations. But I want to say she is a CEO and founder of one wonderful organization from Yes You Can. And when we hear that, yes you can, we can do everything. Am I right, Dr. Queen? Welcome.
You are right. Yes, you can. Thank you so much.
And
Really
happy
appreciate
friendship, my friend day. Happy friendship day.
Happy Friendship Day. Thank you so much, Professor Nada. First of all, I want to acknowledge the founder of IIU, Sir Piyush Pandit. I know you are very busy with other teams in India at the moment, but we just need to appreciate you because without you, this platform will not be created. And this platform, this program, this event will not be organized. So I want to say thank you, sir, wherever you are. I also want to seize this opportunity to congratulate Professor Nada for this great event and also for other teams that are here, all our great distinguished leaders from all over the world. You are all welcome and we love you all. We are leaders, and that is why we are here, because leaders are learners, and we will keep learning because learning is living. We are also leaders because we are inspiring, imparting, and making changes in the world. We are also leaders because we are the pioneer of what we are all doing. And we have so many people looking up to us. So we have a great heart of a great responsibility. I want to congratulate you once again for this great event. And I want to start with this word. Curiosity will keep us thirsty for more and more. No matter your level of education, you still need to keep learning. And G.C. Mama said, and I quote, a thirst for knowledge is something that can never be quenched and should be a lifelong gift. So discover what you are capable of and keep yourself in a growth mindset and keep learning. And that is why we are all here. All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. By what? Disney. So I want to seize this opportunity to say, the moment of truth. Before we go any further, let me share with you the moment of truth, that happiness depends on our mindset. Mindset opens opportunities and learning. It exposes us into reality of life and genuineness. Mindset is how we judge the situation, how we perceive others, and how we treat and respect others. But my friends, my great distinguished leaders, you will agree with me that to make a change, knowledge is required. And to be fulfilled in life, wisdom is needed. So wisdom is the principal things. And in all our gettings, we get understanding stated from the greatest book of life, Bible. We are the one to change the world with our resources, our knowledge, our mindset, our attitude, our wisdom, our experience, and also our expertise through education. So let me also say this, that mindset is in two ways. So if we want to really make a change and embrace change and transform lives and impart into other people's life, we need to check our mindset. Is it negative or is it positive? Is it growth or is it fixed? Negative mindset will make decision to stay still instead of advancing your skills, knowledge, and career. But positive mindset sees failure as an opportunity to learn and advance rather than evidence of failure. Yes, many people might be out there lamenting, complaining, and saying that this change has really changed their lives, or this change is so difficult, or it is so difficult for them to adapt to change. But if you transform your lives from negative to positive and your mindset, then you will see change as an opportunity to advance. And that is why I'm so fascinated about this program of Professor Nada on G20 International. And today we are focusing on entrepreneurship and MSME. Let me also encourage you to say, you can unshackle yourself from negativities and make more positive choices. Start developing your skills and enhancing your ability through education. Let me also let you know that growth mindset will get you to be committed to learning, as we are all doing here today in this platform. And improving will also make us to know life better, and also to keep on transforming our lives, our relationship, our learning, our education, and even in our entrepreneurship. Growth mindset will allow us to grow big. Let me fast forward and let me come back. We allow us to dream big, then grow big and push the boundary of your ideas to a new level. The difference between good and bad results in life, in our entrepreneurship, is often down to one thing: mindset. So a success mindset gives you an advantage, and it also depends on the state of your mind. And let me use this time to round up and just share with you quickly the 7 Ds of challenges when we are thinking of building ourselves up, developing our businesses, and also relating with others as a leader. So I'm sharing with you the 7 Ds of challenges quickly. We have discouragement. I know that majority of us have been discouraged in one way or the other. We have distraction because in this world is full of dramas from everywhere. So you can easily be distracted from what we are doing. We also have disappointment. Oh yes, if I may ask, Is there anybody that has not been disappointed before? I'm sure the answer will say no. We are all being disappointed. We have disrespect. We have been disrespected. Despite the fact that we are building ourselves up, we are repositioning ourselves, and we are also taking charge of our lives. We're still being disrespected by many. We also have division in the house, division in our organization, in our team, division, so many division all over the place. And we are being disunity instead of us to unite together and hold the same baton and also make a change and improve lives and impart into other people's life. We also been discontented. The reason why we can be discontented is one reason. You don't know who you are. If we don't know who we are, we don't know our purpose, we don't appreciate ourselves, we don't accept who we are, then sometimes we can be discontented. Then we have disagreement. Oh yes, we can disagree or not disagree. So these are the 7 Ds of challenges. I won't be able to expand it because of my time. But before I go any further, just as majority of you might have known, that I am a woman of possibility, and every challenge must turn to opportunities. So I'm here to share finally the 7 Ds of overcoming. Yes, we've talked about challenges, but we have the greatness in us. We have the power in us. We have the ability to turn our situation around. We have the ability to turn our negativity to positive. And that is why I can conclude my speech today with 7 Ds of overcoming. What are the 7 Ds? Number 1, you need to desire to become. You need to desire to overcome. You need to desire to rise above every challenges, every obstacles, and every adversity. It's not easy, but when you desire it and believe that you can, then you can overcome it. Then you can achieve it. And yes, you can succeed it. Then you have to make a quality decision. To make a quality decision, you have to assess the situation. You have to see the pros and the cons. You have to see the advantages and the advantages. You have to go through maybe the SWOT analysis. And then it will be easier for you to think critically and make your right decision. Then determination. In every day of life, we are all going through, like I've said before in our challenges, we are going through obstacles, challenges, obstacles. We are going through situations beyond our control. So many things are happening. We're in the world of creativity, and at the same time, we are in the world of shambles, the world of negativities. But then we can rise up and be determined that no matter comes my way, either disappointment or discouragement, I can achieve it. I can become, and I am unstoppable. So you need to be determined and avoid avoid distraction. You need to focus on what you've started. You need to focus on the goals you want to achieve. You need to focus on the plans that you have for yourself and for your future. You need to focus on the end result of what you've started, because I believe we can finish well. Diligence is another thing. Consistently. If you're going to make it in life, it's not about you, especially as an entrepreneur. It's not about you starting it and then giving up. We cannot give up because you have a unique ideas. You are capable of doing it. You have these resources and gifts and talent and skills that you have developed. So you cannot give up. But when you consistently, diligently doing it, like I always tell people, dream big, but stand small. and keep progressing. And like one of my mentors will say, if you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. And if you can't walk, crawl. Just keep moving. Keep doing it every day. Take a step and keep developing yourself. The next one is discipline. Oh yes, we need to discipline our time, discipline our emotions, discipline our lives, discipline everything that pertains to us for us to succeed. There are some things that we have to let go. There are some things that we have to overlook. There are some things that we just have to put it aside. But when we discipline ourselves, then it's easy for us to keep moving, to keep growing, and to keep reaching our goals. Then dedication is also part of it. You need to be dedicated to your vision. You need to be dedicated to your vision. Because as an entrepreneur, many things will come your way. Changes will arrive. You all can agree with me that during COVID, before COVID, there's so many ways we do things, even in business. I was a businesswoman as well and an entrepreneur. So there are some things that you want to do that you keep on doing. But then COVID came. Nobody expected it to happen. Then guess what? After COVID, everything changed because COVID met every one of us on awareness. Nobody plans for it and we wasn't expecting it. But when you are dedicated to what you are doing, there will always be new ideas, new creativities, new innovations that will come your way to redirect and to reposition yourself in what you are doing. Finally, I will encourage you all to say, it is not an easy road, but a tough person goes through a tough journey and go through the tough road. But we can do it together with one statement of, yes, I can. I'm the founder of Yes You Can International, the Dr. Elizabeth Lucas Afolalu, and thank you so much for listening to us. God bless you all.
God bless you, Dr. Queen. God bless you always. What to say? Today, we were witnessing the great 7 days of challenges, disagreement, disappointed, disrepaired, diffusion, disunited, disconnected, disagreement. And yes, all of the overcoming. Dr. Queen, what to say? You are amazing. You are inspiration. You are our wisdom. You are our transformational wisdom and many, all in one. Dr. Sandy, please unmute yourself. What you say for our great Dr. Queen?
Absolutely wonderful. I have goosebumps here after listening to her.
Let us move, just move, only moving. Dr. Queen say
Exactly.
moving.
So with the D's of do's and don'ts, we all achieve our dreams. So thank you for the inspiration, Dr. Queen. Yeah, so that helps us keep moving and we just do it.
Exactly, Dr. Sandy. Let us move forward. Who is our next great guest speaker?
Yeah, so I have great pleasure in introducing the next speaker. For one, that I know him very, very personally. He's my best half. And he's here to speak on the attracting investments to uplift the industrial and social economy, which I think is very essential to achieve many of the SDGs. So he's a second generation chartered accountant and he's also the chairman of Kottayam branch of ICAI. He is a well-known chartered accountant in the Chartered Accountants fraternity. He's also a member of Australian associate member of Australian Chartered Accounts Society as well. He has worked with clients in the Middle East and parts of Europe. So, Balaji Krishnan, the dais is all yours.
Thank you very much, Sandhya. I know you wouldn't term the introduction as generous. It was just a statement of fact. Thank you very much. And warm good evening to all of you. We have.
Thank you, Mr. Balaji. Nice to joining here, and it's again a wonderful pleasure of having you here on our platform.
Thank you very much.
It's always a pleasure to have you here.
A lot of takeaway from Dr. Queen's wonderful inspirational speech. She talked about various roles that we have to play as an actor. I'm reminded of Shakespeare, who said the whole world is a stage. And finally, she signed off with a motivational thing that anything is possible. So I was again reminded of the Adidas punchline that says, impossible is nothing. Thank you for giving the wonderful motivation for all of us to carry on without looking at the failures that would have happened in the past. So before we embark, it was a wonderful presentation from Dr. Sharda, who signified the importance of MSME. And with that note, we'll straight away get to the session. Please allow me to share the screen. I have a small presentation to share with you.
You can, sir. All can share the screen. Yes.
Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes, great. Can you put a full screen, please?
Yes, I'm doing that now.
Great.
Is it clear now?
Yes, wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
But it is on conclusion. Can you remove to the beginning, please?
No. That's why I wanted a flashback kind of thing. Generally, people come to the beginning and then conclude. I want to go
okay.
We're not done without thought. Okay. So this is where we should finally come. We need to have growth which is sustainable, which should create a progress in terms of uniting the forces that make the society more happy. So I wanted to just highlight the last part, which says that let us join hands to attract investments that uplift both our industrial and social economy. Together, we create a prosperous and inclusive future for all. So this has to be the final vision based on which we will go back on this. Now I will start. We need to understand few things on why we are here. Is it clear now? Yeah. Is it clear?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. You can continue. Yes.
So I said from climax to the beginning of the show. So we have a huge, beautiful world which has provided us everything without asking for anything. Now time has come for us to understand, to balance everything in life than merely adding profits as the only motive for any business entity. That's the base on which we will start the presentation. And again, there is a huge role that United Nations plays through that trade development unit, which ensures that the growth is for the society as a whole, not just as for the corporate entity which creates the profit. So it has created a few parameters based on which we need to progress as a community, which creates avenue for growth. So I'm specifically using the word community than a business entity, because when you talk about community, the onus or the responsibility cast on you is much wider in terms of your social obligation than as a business unit. So this is the vision which any entity should be having, that there must be growth with workforce playing a vital role, which creates better infrastructure in the area in which they operate, which generally is termed as social inclusivity. The reason is, unless the society as a whole improves, then the entity cannot sustain. For example, somebody wants to drain water and then create a soft drink. Ultimately, it will destroy the water table, and after a point of time, it will be forced to exit from the place, as we have seen. The reason for all the technology has created a world which is as virtual as it can ever be. We cannot do something that will only benefit the place where I belong to in terms of it destroying something in some other place. So the global integration in terms of thought, in terms of creating a balance, is of paramount importance before we understand how we can attract investment, which will not only improve the profitability of the entity and also ensuring the social development. this is present challenge that we face. And I always had a question open to so many people. We will find that the general perception of growth is linked to the tax that the government collects, which probably is true. But then you will find that, and I could also not find any research paper as to why people are reluctant to pay tax, in spite of the beautiful definition given to tax as being the cost that we pay to live in a civilized society. Had that been wonderfully executed by all the governments or the powers that be, people would have gleefully paid tax, and then the social development would have been automatically taken care by the government, which is collecting the tax and distributing it back to the economy. Now we are faced with the challenge of that role also being taken over by the corporates. As I said, the business community as general. So you will see that I, as an entity, there is a challenge to overcome the slow GDP growth. There is a huge unemployment. Then the capital, the financial access is also limited to few people. There is an absolute uneven distribution of wealth and income. And I'm also very proud to say that I belong to a very small town in Kerala, which is called Kottayam. Kottayam was the first district in the whole country of India to have 0% poverty based on the SDG goals that was implemented by the states. And we have been, thank God, successfully doing that for the last 3 years. So the challenge for an entity is economic, but then when it overcomes the economic challenge, there is always the social obligation. Now there is a huge impetus given on the ESG, environmental, social, and governance aspect of audit. Are you making profit in a manner which is benefiting the society? Or the question is put in a different way: are you making profit which is eroding the social responsibility cast on you as a business community? So these challenges make it very difficult for a business community to progress without incorporating in their corporate aim and goal the social development in the area in which it operates. It cannot simply throw affluence by degrading the river quality water and things like that. And you should also be surprised to know that Kottayam has one of the most visited world tourist destination called Kumrakam, which is a backwater. But then unfortunately, the groundwater is not fit for drinking. So I have also made this request earlier, or made it highlighted in the earlier presentation, that the resorts, the Taj, the big Radisson and other groups who are working in the area, they should come together to create an environment where that aspect of the area is also taken care of. In spite of they making money out of that space advantage, they are not creating an avenue to have the focus of the groundwater thing. So how do we overcome all that? So when you have to look at it, the key areas of development, as you would say, there is technology, manufacturing, healthcare, renewable energy, and tourism. So I was touching on tourism. Tourism in one way does promote and convert the fortunes of people who live in the immediate close vicinity. You will have visitors who would require a local ride. There is this concept of homestay, which probably converts the fortune of a well-placed top tourist destination of a small home where they can accommodate tourists. So does the government have a policy to take care of that? They have, but then has it reached a stage where I am made to aware that I can, as a middle income, small time income earning person, convert what I have as a special place to make it into a business avenue? Probably that kind of educative aspect has not been touched upon in the policies, even though there is a huge support given for MSME, as was very beautifully presented by Dr. Sharda earlier. But still, there is a lot of potential to make that come to the grassroots level, where I as an individual feel that, yes, if I have a good idea, if I have a good avenue, of course, I can also be an entrepreneur. So India, if you look at in the Middle Ages, in the early 1600s and 1700s, contributed to almost 30% of the global economy. That was because all of us were entrepreneurs. How did India achieve that growth? Because everyone was doing some kind of an entrepreneurial activity, which should be brought back into the system now. And again, I would be very proud to say India might one day become the biggest economy, but then without any Fortune 500 company, we will have hundreds and thousands or millions of top MSMEs which drive that growth. When an MSME is growing, it will definitely create an impact on the social economy as well, and also ensure that the poor also become slightly richer and poor does not become poorer. And all of this can be achieved unless the policies of the government have transparency, accountability, which is of course what we are looking at now. The point is, my profit, if it impacts this local area where I work in a negative manner, the chartered accountant, as a chartered accountant, we are supposed to step in and say that this profit is derived by killing the local social balance or the social ecosystem. That kind of a responsibility has been cast on the chartered accountant as well. Then, of course, there are initiatives like corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility also mandates that we promote accountability and social impact. There are independent auditors on board to guide them. But all of that will again bring down to what we have done in terms of our research. I have again highlighted this. Of course, we have the startup initiative, but then to promote, we don't have a specific credit line extended by any of the banks or financial institutions to promote research and innovation. India has been found wanting. Of course, we are progressing, but then you would all agree that if few people do the same activity, they will all make profit. But then more people come and start doing the same activity, it impacts the profit of all the persons involved in that particular activity, thereby bringing down the additional benefit or the marginal benefit, which is the reason why we need to bring in innovation. And for that, the government needs to have a very clear policy. If the MSME has to really catch fire and then reach its zenith, there must be a specific focus and thrust given for funding research and innovation. You know very well that no research and no new activity can produce a result unless the person who is into that research is given the confidence of carrying on with elan without worrying about the success in the short or the medium term. So that's one real focus we need to bring to the attention of the government in terms of their change in their approach in terms of focusing on research and innovation. If that alone is the criteria, it is not like that. We need to have a risk assessment done and mitigation. We are actually, as a chartered accountant, I'm very proud to say that in the month of May, across the country, we created workshops where we added more than 1 million MSME registered under the Udyam scheme and also brought them into the proper stream of the government policies. So that government also really appreciated the efforts taken by the CA fraternity across the. So what I'm saying is it enough that I become an MSME and start working and again give importance to starting the activity without the assessment of risk and how to overcome that risk? We have also started initiative in our local branches to create a clinic with free advice every week, along with the industry, government officials, who would ensure that we educate them as to the potential risk, what are the regulatory aspects that you need to overcome, and whether one product, for example, there is a place in Kerala which is close to Palghat, Attapadi, where you cannot sell liquor. So if somebody comes with a good idea of trying to create a liquor related business in that area, that is against the local policy. So these kind of advice can be given, and these kind of activities needs to be analyzed before they start that. So we are creating a lot of engines of growth and also giving professional advice at source. So that would ensure that the activity that they propose to start will result in a positive activity. So this is the state of Indian economy, which has been discussed very widely across. We have a superb policy where we are galloping towards the 5 trillion economy. It is a very large market. The population is also positive in terms of ability to work and contribute to the economy. If that alone signifies growth, it is not like that. We are attracting a lot of foreign direct investment, which is also creating the proper platform for these businesses to become from small to medium to big. This is the most important area. Now, the Indian Minister for Transportation, Nitin Gadkari, has created a lot of avenues for the road development. He said very beautifully, America is not a rich country which built roads. America is a country which became rich by building roads. So if that statement defies proper logic, please see how it can transform the fortunes of so many people. It gives a lot of work for unskilled labor till the time road is built. By then, they create enough money to have a small tea shop created on a strategic exit point on a highway. Thereby, the income that they generate out of the highway being built is again put back into business. So they also become an entrepreneur. So such initiatives definitely have to be promoted. And you can see the figures. the National Infrastructure Pipeline, these kind of activities. He recently announced that he wants to build more highways, more super express highways. So transportation is, or rather infrastructure development will play a definite key role in transforming the fortunes of the social setup of India, which is the thrust of the discussion that have been given today. Again, for that, there must be investment in friendly policies. And today, we could see that there is a huge ring road being proposed in Kerala, where the Kerala government has been asked to bring down the GST. So these are the government should see that as an investment rather than a loss in revenue, because long term it will improve the total fund that comes in and then more than mitigates the loss of GST in the short run. We also have an insolvency bankruptcy code to ensure that the creditors are fairly protected. The foreign investors can also invest in almost all the schemes. The policies of the government are more transparent. It's all online. You don't have to go and sit in any of the places for approval. Everything is well laid out. So in that aspect, India has progressed tremendously. Then comes the special economic zones, which is again, once the micro enterprise becomes small, and then from there it becomes a bigger one. It has a space in these SEZs, which is again a government initiative to ensure that the clearance or the single window clearance aspect is also better utilized. They can have access to top class infrastructure in terms of data streaming, and all other aspects are there in the most of the special economic zones across the country. If the government is able to, you can see that we have organized roadshows in key financial centers like New York, London, and Singapore to showcase investment opportunities. These investment opportunities need not be in billions. It can be in a small $300,000, $500,000 opportunity also. That has been very clearly put across to the prospective investors. And with the transparency and the strong government in place, this will ensure that more FDIs come, which allows these micro and small medium enterprises to progress to the next level. Kerala has been a role model for these public-private partnerships. It has one of the best airports in the world in terms of the Cochin International Airport Limited, which was a public-private partnership where the government gave the land, private investors came and then invested money. Now we have a wonderful airport, which has been a so sustainable activity, because in the closer areas closer to the airport, they have put complete solar panels to ensure that the power consumed is out of the solar panel. It's one of the, I think, the only airport in the world which is using only solar power to sustain its or meet its power requirement. So such initiatives will also ensure that the social aspect, and that also transform the lives of people who are staying close by. They were all given license to operate taxis exclusively. So that also ensured that they also became small entrepreneurs. So these initiatives are the ones we should look for. One industry is kickstarting its activity, and as a collateral positive aspect, the areas around it is also increasing tremendously. Then what will happen is, once as a taxi driver, I increase my revenue, I will ensure that the next generation is given to better access to education. Thereby, it will improve the social structure. If I could study only till graduation, I can confidently send my next generation for professional education, thereby increasing the requirement or meeting the requirement of skilled workforce, which any growing economy would do. India need not look at engineers or doctors to be imported from abroad. But given that, we should also have a policy where we should open up the education sector, where the nearby countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, they can come and study in India as well. So probably that is another thing we need to look into in terms of what improvement could be made to the existing system. Then this, we already discussed sustainable and green initiatives. As I said, the Cochin International Airport is a classic example of this particular aspect. Investor incentives, we have already seen. We have introduced a lot of subsidies for specific sectors. There are tax benefits for startups, which is also very positively looked at by the industry. The exit for any venture capital investor is also tax-free in terms of the support that he gives for any entity which gives a beautiful innovation. Then we have intellectual property rights for these MSMEs to ensure that the patent and copyright laws are very strictly followed, and they don't allow their innovations to be copied and then taken away by any big corporates. we are in good sync with all the development agencies like World Bank, Asian Development Bank, Financial Corporation. The focus is on social development and sustainable initiative, as clear as that. Of course, it is all achieved with our networking, as we are discussing. This is also part of the networking initiative taken, where we reach out to people to tell them that come look at the benefits of coming into fostering networking and partnership. BRICS is a classic example, World Economic Forum. There are bilateral trade agreements which open avenues. As I would say that India's diverse economy and investment friendly policies, it will ensure that we are poised for not just growth, we are poised for significant growth with a clear goal to reach the top. That probably that intention was not there till now. We have really we are being motivated by the government as all citizens to see that India gallops towards the top of the world economic status. Of course, it's a dream, but then it's a dream that is capable of being achieved. And if I can again draw inspiration from Dr. Queen's remark, it is those challenges that make you better in life and then help us to reach the goal in a swift manner. Now I come to the beginning of my presentation, which was the conclusion. So as I said, the success will lie in our ability to work with collaboration. Without that, no individual can create a growth without creating a superb collaboration and teamwork. And in this context, the teamwork is at a macro level than at a micro level. We need to balance profit. We need to balance planet protection as well as our goal. If that is to be achieved, we need to have call to action which will unite for the purpose of progress of the world, which can be achieved by the society at large. Smaller societies make up a local economy. Local economies grow up and then become a state. The states converge and become a nation. The nations converge and become the world. So one step by a small corporate will have its impact at the global level as well. With this, I come to the end of my presentation. I'll be very glad to take any questions if you have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Balaji, for that wonderful presentation. Dr. Nada, would you like to add some inputs?
What to say? He make it really. Starting from our Dr. Farooq, our queen, and then he with his great conclusion, with his great speech. And I think that when we say we already covered this whole topic, but we still have an amazing esteemed guests who are waiting. Dr. Balai, this was really very insightful, enrichable, and I like it. I like it so much. I like it really so much. And this, you explain us all about this public-private partnerships. So there is, I think that now we don't have nothing what is for us not explain. And giving the conclusion, as you say, success lies in our ability to work collaboratively. We are doing that. Yes, we need a support for the government, especially when we are talking about the entrepreneurship. We need support from the government, agency, private enterprises, community stakeholders, and that is the only way how we can together create environment which will attract investments. We need investments. We really need that investments which will ensure the equitable growth. So as you say, sustainability, balancing profit and planet. So let us join our hands together to attract strategic investments in India, in my country, Croatia, in all the countries, because that will uplift both the industrial and social economy. Together, I'm sure with this G20 Summit, with IIU, with all us here, entrepreneurs, educators, we will create a prosperous and inclusive future for all. And that is our vision. That is our vision of all of us, IIU, G20, and all here on this amazing platform. Thank you, Professor Balai, and always better solution. You have your name here. Always better solution. So we are doing that. Thank you.
Well,
Now, Dr. Srividhya, please, Dr. Balai, waiting you.
Thank you, Dr. Nada. And what to say? As usual, when it is from Mr. Balaji, we know that what's going to come out. As you rightly mentioned, around the world in the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the aftershoot of that has laid limitations of the existing social welfare systems and increased pressure on governments to secure and improve social protection norms for the citizen, whichever country it is, placing significant strain on the government resources and the policies and the systems that are to be taken care of. And as you rightly mentioned, how is it going to be achieved? That's a big question that everybody has been facing through. And that's how the topic focuses on. Presidency, modernize and strengthen the industrial units to make them globally competent. Because this is particularly true in all the GCC countries and across the globe, definitely. Hope Mr. Balaji will definitely agree with me, though he was stressing more about the region of Kerala. And he had taken Kerala in India as an example. But of course, has laid it as an example. I mean the word example. Like, well, if this is done in Kerala, why not the other countries also follow the same?
If I can do it, anyone can do it. That's right.
Exactly. That was the input that I just picked up from there, where countries use a social welfare model that is created with a strong sense of dependence among the nationals, according to the latest report or the report of Mr. Balaji. Owing to which, as we all know that what's the main topic is about, it's about the G20. G20 talk, when we relate with what we relate to G20, it is all about economy. It's all about finance, basically. And G20 plays an important role with the 2030 Sustainable Developmental Goal agenda, that is the SDGs, as Dr. Shraddha was already mentioning about Addis Ababa Action Agenda, that is AAAA, which is a very key thing to stress on, to focus on, which encompasses the action on the key global social environmental challenges by setting up agenda, leading by example, promotion of knowledge and sharing it out with the triangle cooperation, with the outreach of campaigns like this. As our distinguished guest was mentioning today, exactly when she was mentioning about destiny, exactly how is it being built? If at all we are talking about financial stability, financial sustainability, as Dr. Shraddha was mentioning, talking about the MSME factors, destiny is the one which is being achieved by a wonderful wide tapestry in which every thread of innovation, every thread of risk assessment and mitigation, every thread of infrastructure and creating resources has been totally laid up and guided with an unspeakable tender hand, that's ourselves, placed by thread and held carried out by others to follow through. That's what is the destiny that we are talking about, owing to which, thank you so much, Mr. Balaji. I think it was a wonderful presentation. And one quick word that I would like to mention from his thing is that innovation is not something creating something new. Innovation is something which is going to be used by the community, by the society, by the generations to come. That's very, very valid point that I take home from you, Mr. Balaji. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. It was a brilliant presentation as usual.
That's so nice of you. Thank you very much. All got this. Thank you.
Over to Ms. Sandhya Balaji to welcome the next speakers on board. Thank you.
Yeah, before I welcome the next speaker, I'll also like to add on a small thing. Just as we say for the humans, we can also say for the companies or nations, we all have two hands, because we need to have one to help ourselves and the other to help others around us. So this can be a motto which will also aim at the social development and sustainable development goals. So the next pointer that we are going to look at is to create an industry-friendly atmosphere and to implement suitable policies, which are also crucial in attaining the SDGs. So to speak on this, we have Dr. Magji Saleh, who is an international presenter and Raylo Cairo mentor, and he is also having honorary residence from Texas State, USA. He's a master degree holder in education and IC3 in digital literacy master. Welcome you, sir, and looking forward to your questions.
Well, to be quite honest, I don't have actual words to describe my feeling. And if I know 1,000 words, I might not be able to form one sentence except that smart people who are taught from their own experience, but super smart people who are taught from others' experience. And I'm very lucky to be with super smart people. It's not fair to speak after brilliant presenters, but it's okay. It's my fate to talk after brilliant speakers. I'm here to talk about create an industry-friendly atmosphere and in practical steps.
And Dr. Magdi, don't say that. You are amazing, amazing.
We need to find practical solutions about how to raise our economy rates and industrial levels. Of course, I am talking about social emotional spot in industry, but I'm trying to find practical solutions to how to raise and how to find some solutions to our problems, especially our economic problems in our world. So making great atmosphere, it's not hard task, because when we are trying to make this, we are searching for some of humility and gratitude. And of course, all of us know without humility and gratitude, we can't make a good relationship between workers and companies and factories. So improving work includes giving our employees space and privacy to do their work, making workplace more comfortable for them, and improving communications. And when we want to communicate with each other, we have to train our workers how to communicate with each other, especially when we learn that our great leader, Nelson Mandela, when they asked him, how did you become a great leader? He was actually the son of a tribal chief. And he said that he would remember two things when he was too young, and when he would attend the tribal meeting, that the elders of his tribe were sitting in circle position. And his father was the last one to speak. You've told all your life to learn how to listen, but today I am trying to say that we have to learn how to be the last one to speak. If you agree with someone, don't nod yes. If you disagree with another one, don't nod no. Simply just sit and learn where they come from and why they said their opinions. So we need to host events and expressing gratitude that builds trust between our workers. So work environment impacts your mood, drive, mental health, and performance. If our employees work with unfriendly workers, they likely won't have enough confidence or job satisfaction. So we need to know how to create a better place. And when we talk about the atmosphere in which we need to increase our productivity, we need to know that we have to raise their confidence. So creating better workspace involves common sense, tact, and empathy, seeing your employees as a human instead of business tool is just a key to make ourselves make a progress. So we need to know more about humility and gratitude, especially in work atmosphere. And what comes to my mind that the former Undersecretary of Defense, who was invited to give a large speech in a big conference of maybe 1,000 people, and he was standing on the stage and holding a cup of coffee, and he took a sip of coffee and put it down, and he went up out of his script, and he said, you know, last year I was invited to the same exact conference. Last year I was Undersecretary of Defense. They flew me in business class. They made someone waiting me in the airport, and he took me to the hotel, and after checking in, me another one took my luggage upstairs, and in the next morning I found another one in the lobby to greet me, and they took me and make me sit on the green room and handed me in a beautiful ceramic cup. He said, the lesson is the ceramic cup was never meant for me. The ceramic cup was for the position I held. So we have to remember this lesson. As you gain fortune, as you gain seniority, as you gain management, as you gain money and fortune, remember that people will treat you better. People will give you stuff. People will hold doors open for you, will give you coffee or tea without asking, will call you ma'am and sir. Enjoy your stuff, but remember, this stuff is never meant for you. This stuff is never for your possession. So every manager in every company and factory has to recognize this lesson, because we need to improve our productivity. So we have to make a comfortable environment, comfortable atmosphere. And there are a lot of ways to improve our work environment, like we have to hire great team members, and don't afraid to let ineffective ones go, but we have to ensure that our workers are professional and team players. But when firing an employee who's been dragging down your team, ensure that you give him a feedback and the time to improve. And we have another technique also, that we need to make our work environment more comfortable. Relationships between workers, we have to give our employee flexibility. And imagine, I'd like to give you something more medical, but related to our topic. Acts of generosity, acts of kindness is somehow it is make people feel good in work environment. Imagine with me that you are working in the streets, and there is another someone working in front of you, and his bag or backpack was opened, and a bunch of paper fell on the floor. Immediately, without taking too much time in thinking, you will bend down and gathering his paper and give it to him. There is a material in your body, we call it oxytocin. Oxytocin is responsible to make you happy, especially in work hours. And my oxytocin is raised, and the person who take paper from me, he said, thank you. Then his oxytocin also raised. And imagine that when I cross the road, total stranger. So what I did to this person, and he said, I noticed and I saw what you did for him. That sounds really cool. Even witnessing a kind of generosity and helping others raise the oxytocin in his body. So we need to train our workers in our factories, in our company, to help each other, to make a friendly atmosphere. And all statistics shows us that when workers love each other and respect each other, the productivity levels raise. So we need to improve communication with employees. So we have to be mindful of how we interact with each other's team members, and upper management should focus on their communication skills and communication methods. And there is another technique that host company events. I invite more companies to host events like this conference, because this conference will foster engagement. The more workers socialize, the more they build relationships with each other and their managers. So why is a positive work environment so crucial and important? Creating a positive work environment motivate and engages your workers, leading to higher job satisfaction, and this is increase our productivity, and this is will affect all fields like our health, our agriculture, our trade, our tourism. This is will raise our productivity. I'm not speaking about Egypt here. I'm speaking about the whole, the globe, especially when we share thoughts with each other. I was in a conference like this, and we have two German professors, and when I told them, did you visit the Berlin train station? They said, wow, yes, it is the biggest train station in Europe. Let me tell you something. The project manager of this great project is Egyptian, and his name is Hani Azir. They said, wow. And I told them, this is the importance of sharing thoughts and making good relationship between each other in the globe or on the whole world. So I don't like to take too much time. I really enjoyed my speech with you. Thanks a lot. And one last thing I have to mention. If you want to get to a man's mind, talk to in a language that he can understand it. But if you want to get a man's heart, talk in his own language. All of us now speaking English language, and I am very happy to be with you. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhuri Saleh. Dr. Nada, your inputs, please.
What to say, Dr. Magdi? Amazing, amazing. I like this, the view of how you explain to us your topic today. It was really remarkable, very interesting, I can say. And please never say the sentence which you started today, because you are amazing. And I really want to congratulate you, and we are really honored to have you today with us from the Egypt, from the beautiful land of the pyramids. So, you know, already Egypt has this you have the pyramids, you have an amazing engineers, the machine learning, artificial intelligence, everything is coming from your country. So entrepreneurs, investments are necessary. So Dr. Magdi, you have so many friends around the globe who can invest. Do on that and keep doing a great work. Thank you.
Yeah, now request Dr. Srividhya to give her inputs. You're on mute, Dr. Vidya.
Thank you, Dr. Magdi. I'm sure we would like to have one more session with you when we talk about friendly relationships and developing relations, basically that you were highlighting upon. And not only about the particular topic of developing friendly relations among the entrepreneurs, among the businesses, and also you have related today's topic to today's highlight of the day. Today is a friendship day. So Dr. Nada was mentioning it at the beginning of the session. So it was quite insightful.
Yes, and you have a friendly Dr. Srividhya, a friendly like Magdi. That is really amazing to have him. So, Dr. Magdi, you have new friends. You see amazing ladies today on this strong IIU stage. Dr. Srividhya, Sandy, Dr. Parul, Madame Janet, and all who are today here. You have new friends on the Friendship Day. So we are moving, we are growing, as our Dr. Queen say. So let us move. Great.
Yeah. Shall I go ahead to call the next speaker?
Yes, yes. Yes, we can go.
Okay, now today we have amidst us an actress and a comedian, and her one-of-a-kind trademarked humorous show. Jeannie Rapstead presents comic sketches and is directed to upscale senior residents and communities and theatrical venues. So she's an award-winning speaker, writer, and entrepreneur. She's the president of Jeannie Rapstead Enterprises LLC based at Hammond, Indiana, USA. And she offers entertainment programs for hire as well as speaker and pitch coaching and humor workshops for business and youth speakers. So there are lots and more to add on to it, but without much delay, I just put in a small information also that she's a communications master's from Purdue University and often conducts workshops there. We welcome you, ma'am, and she is here to speak on how this conducive atmosphere for industries helps them compete at national and international levels and how it aligns with SDGs. Ma'am, the digital dais is yours.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. May I share my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. I'm just trying to
put a full screen if you can, Madame Jenny.
I'm attempting to do that here because I'm trying to get it to the point where I can do the slideshow from the beginning.
Great, great. It is great, great.
Okay, thank you very much. It's wonderful to be here, a part of this G20 International Online Confluence with all of these really great speakers and very knowledgeable people. And I thank you for the invitation. I've been enjoying the presentation so far, and I hope that you will take something away from mine. My topic is the creation of a conducive atmosphere for the industries to enable them to compete at national and international levels. This is something that I happen to know something about because I am working at the Purdue University Commercialization and Manufacturing Excellence Center. I've been a client of theirs and a contract employee of theirs since 2019. And we have a wonderful economic ecosystem here in Northwest Indiana. It is important for the entrepreneurs, micro businesses, small businesses, and medium-sized business to have this resource here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. But first, I would like to share with you sort of the people that are behind this. The Vice Chancellor and former Dean of the College of Technology, and also the Associate Director of Purdue CMAC, that's the Commercialization Manufacturing Excellence Center. They have a wonderful program that is virtually free. Some things are paid, but basically they are creating an ecosystem that supports small businesses here that are in startup ideation stage and pre-seed, because Dr. Latif's desire is that there will be industries created here that will provide jobs for Purdue University graduates. And that's a wonderful thing. And in addition to the people that are just, you know, maybe graduating from other colleges in the area or from high school, but his vision is that we will produce enough jobs for the students here to have meaningful employment that will provide salaries that allow them to have a good lifestyle for themselves and their families. So I started as contract coach for their pitch competition, which is called the Big Sell. And I became a client as I developed a computer application that I'm going to be launching in August. So I'm an entrepreneur as well. So I'd like to be able to talk a little bit about the process, and it's pretty much the same as there would be for any incubator. There's an analysis if there's a concept viability, entrepreneurial viability, intellectual property, because, you know, intellectual property is strict with the patent office. There has to be innovation, novelty, and it can't be obvious. So they make an analysis through a relationship that they have with an intellectual property firm in nearby Valparaiso. There's customer viability, and there is an actual program that they teach on how to determine, is there a market for the product that you're inventing and trying to develop? Is your product actually viable? And is it going to be manufactured? Is there a way to do that that is cost efficient? So I'd like to talk about the benefits that this ecosystem provides. And mostly, as I said, the guidance is at low cost or no cost to businesses here. So the client can choose from a variety of training opportunities, and they determine what's best for their company. And of course, the training then builds a supply and pipeline of skilled workers within their company that can teach the new hires as they come into the firm. And that decreases recruitment costs for the company as they have on staff people that can train. It increases productivity because when people know what they're doing, they can do the job more efficiently and cost effectively, and less errors and waste. This is a cost-effective way to build core manufacturing skills because we have experts that can help them, and they have to qualify to be in the program. But once they qualify, Purdue will find professionals to assist their clients on what they need to know. And always there is the opportunity to learn a safe way to have a manufacturing process so that there are no injuries to staff, and to keep the quality improvements as you know the product is developed. And the next slide is having to do with some of the different trainings that are available from Purdue's economic system here. As I said, free or low cost. and they include manufacturing and just introduction to what it takes to run a small business. I went through that process myself as an entrepreneur. It's very helpful to learn how I get established with the Secretary of State of Indiana, establishing my business. Not everybody knows how to do this. If the client needs training, electrical or mechanical or programmable logic controllers, all of these different programs are available, and they will arrange for training, which helps support the businesses as they are developing their product and prototype. There is one-on-one coaching, and you will see item 3, business pitch and presentation development, and that's where I come in. I have been hired to have a pitch masters workshop for the entrepreneurs, and we're going to talk about that in detail, because it's how we build support within the entrepreneurs in our community. But these are other coaching on how to develop your prototype. They'll recommend the firm that they use for intellectual property protection, because we never want our clients to disclose their inventions until they at least have provisional patent protection. Myself, I have copyrights on some of the training films that I made for my business. So all of these were referred by CMEC as I was a client. As I said, I have kind of a dual role here. I'm a client and I'm also a contract employee there. And their product commercialization is very valuable to a lot of people. They reach out within the manufacturing community if they cannot have a prototype built on the premises. They will assist the client in finding somebody that can help them, a company, or at least a few companies that will offer bids for help in developing the initial prototypes. So the Pitch Masters Workshop is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I've been working with the entrepreneurs for 3 years now, and I help them develop presentation skills. I help them write effective pitches. I help them develop pitch decks, which are different based on which competition that our client is entering. We have one at Purdue, which is called the Big Sell. Prize is $10,000 for first prize. But there are other big competitions in the state of Indiana. Elevate Nexus for one. Some of my clients have gone on to win region and state, and now we're talking $20,000 and $80,000. So it's really important that people develop their presentation skills. Now, sometimes people feel like, oh no, just let me get my business up and running, and then I'll learn how to present my business to potential investors. And no, this is a simultaneous process. You must develop your speaking skills while you're developing your product. So when you have an opportunity to pitch in front of a venture capitalist or an angel investor or a pitch competition, if you choose to enter, you are ready to go. So that is what I have been doing here for a little over 3 years. The entrepreneurs come from a very diverse backgrounds and diverse products. We have people that have developing consumer goods. We have people who are developing food items, which are making their way through farmers markets into local supermarkets. Some of the people that you see here have won money. If you look in the center photograph, you will see that there are some winners in there of money and also opportunities. They go to trade shows that we help them find, and they pitch their products, and sometimes they get offers to purchase their idea outright. One of the jobs that I do is searching for pitch competitions that are in my area, my state, my region, nationally and internationally. So there are competitions for people at every level of development, and that can bring some ready money. We have a nice track record of our clients have won $620,000 in pitch money, which has been converted into over $6 million of revenue for their businesses. So we have found that this particular approach really helps our entrepreneurs grow. Purdue requires that their clients make an oral presentation at the very start of their relationship in order to receive the services that we talked about before. 90% of the applicants declined to present. So out of 3,000 applicants over the past 7-year period, only 300 were willing to make the prepared presentation and become actual clients so that they can receive the benefits. So that tells you how much this training is needed for the average person. So the main purpose of my workshop is to help the entrepreneur learn the skills they need to start up in pitch competitions, and also develop their video applications, because right now everything is video. So you can't just fax or email a paper application like you could just even a couple of years ago. Oftentimes it's a video application that has to be prepared, and a lot of the clients don't have any skills in doing that. So that's one of the things that I work on in the workshops, and it's been very, very successful. Some of my workshop members have actually made semifinals and final rounds in national pitch competitions and won money. I research available grants that are available from local, state, and federal programs to help people with their startups. I keep the entrepreneurs aware of training programs that are available from municipal governments like the City of Hammond, Small Business Administration, state programs, and federal programs, because the more information they have, the more chance they have of getting money. As a result, we meet twice a month, and we've developed a nice, strong community here, and they all are very, very happy with having a place to go where they can get support. Sometimes people who are married have a partner that doesn't support them because they feel like their new business that they're trying to get off the ground is just a waste of the family's money. And so they don't have the support from their spouse. They can come to the workshop, they learn about what money is available, how to get it, and get the support from other people who are in the same boat. We have measurable results. In the United States, generally speaking, about 97% of pitch competition money goes to white males. In the state of Indiana, and I think it has a lot to do with the program that we're running in Northwest Indiana, women and minority entrepreneurs fare well above the national average, more like about 32% winning in pitch competitions. And as I mentioned, over the past few years, CMEC clients have won money in pitch competitions and through grants that have resulted in $6 million in revenue for their companies. So there are still 300 companies that are actively working within the program. And I think that we are helping them learn through the training and guidance of how to take their products from local here in Hammond to the state, to national, and to international. Because when you're selling something like one of our clients does, I'm speaking of just one, but there are several that sell online, you already have an international market right there. One of our clients makes do-it-yourself home builder product. They took it to a national hardware show here in the States. They got an offer from an Australian company to buy their product outright. So there are many opportunities for people to move from national to international level if they have the information and the support to do so. I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me to this conference. It's been a wonderful opportunity for me to hear all of these people who are very accomplished, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jeannie. It's like you give a man a fish, he will eat for the day, but you teach him fishing, he will eat for the entire lifetime. So that's exactly what your team and your organization is doing to the society, and we all look forward to a sustainable world through this action. Thank you so much once again. May we now move on to the next speaker, Dr. Anjum Nazir Qureshi, who is an assistant professor in Rajiv Gandhi College of Engineering. And yes, and she's as part of, she's from Chandrapur, India, and she's a life coach, parenting coach, career counselor, freelance trainer, and motivational speaker. And she is here to speak on how self-employment opportunity aligns to lead to a sustainable world. Welcome, Dr. Anjum Qureshi. The stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. Greetings to everyone. I'm Dr. Anjum Qureshi from India. Firstly, I would like to thank International Internship University for this beautiful opportunity to express my views regarding the self-employment. And yes, because I just choose this topic because yes, even in college nowadays, we are trying to encourage students for self-employment. We want them to become job givers rather than job seekers. And this actually starts, being from India, let me start with a very important term that has been quoted by our Honorable Prime Minister. He has quoted a term, the self-reliant India, which in Hindi we call as the Atmanirbhar Bharat. The Prime Minister's call in 2020 for an Atmanirbhar Bharat, or the self-reliant India, it highlighted the reality that in a post-COVID-19 era, India cannot exist in isolation. Because the pandemic has shown that whether it is a stressed economy or human rights, rural development or climate change, defense or foreign policy, we need to reimagine the way forward for India and its relationship with the world. The ripple effects of the wars in the Ukraine on our economy and democracy make it imperative for us to continuously engage with the world around us. And as Rabindranath Tagore has said, it is not possible to remain behind narrow domestic walls. The pandemic has shown that whether it is a stressed economy or human rights, rural development or climate change, defense or foreign policy, we need to reimagine the way forward for India and its relationship with the world. As I was talking about self-reliant India, so I would like to just speak a few sentences about it. That the self-reliant India, it aims to be a contributor rather than a consumer. The model, the self-reliant model for a rising India should be based on civilizational pride, experience, and self-belief that will help India to be a contributor to the world rather than only a consumer. Tailoring to suit the needs, because we know that one size doesn't fit all. Western model can work for a country as diverse and as India, as evidenced by the catastrophic financial crisis of 2008. Defense, human rights, climate change, agriculture, the urban-rural divide, economy, governance, and federalism are all addressed in the 5 pillars of the self-reliant India. It is a human-centric model. Social capital, family, and communities are now at the center of a development model. And it is a human-centric way forward approach for our civilization, ethics, and values. And the self-reliant model, it envisaged India working for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is called as the world is one family. And of course, as we were talking about self-employment, There are a number of schemes, I will just try to list down few of them, because there are a number of self-employment schemes that have been started by the central government and also at the state government. I would just like to mention like some of the schemes, firstly, like I was talking about self-employment. We know that it is a type of employment in which a person or a group is employed for them and they get paid from the firm's profit instead of working for others. The programs related to self-employment in India, they have made many citizens employed and opened new employment opportunities. The central government of India, it runs many schemes to encourage the people towards employment throughout the country. The list of employment schemes in India it's very long, I can say. I would just like to mention some of them, like firstly, the Aspire scheme. It's a scheme for promotion of and innovation of the rural industries and entrepreneurship. It is aimed to make the people of rural areas self-employed by providing financial support from subsidies and loans. The main aim of introducing the scheme is to generate opportunities in the rural areas, because we know that in India, a large population of the nation lives in the rural areas, in the villages, and it aims to build new enterprises in rural areas. And the Aspire scheme was introduced by the Government of India in 2015. Another one such scheme is the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program. The scheme is introduced by the Khadi and the village industries to produce employment opportunities in the urban and rural areas of the country. Any citizen of India who has crossed the age of 18 years is eligible to get benefits of this scheme. The Prime Minister Employment Generation Program is only for the new ideas and not the established one, and the maximum cost of project unit provided by the central government under this scheme is 25 lakhs for the production sector and rupees 10 lakh for the service sector. Then we have the Pradhan Mantri Rozgar scheme. It is a scheme of the central government which was launched in 1993 and which focuses on providing self-employment to the literate youth who do not get any job. The scheme provides loans for unemployed women and youth. With the help of this loan, young India can start their business with innovative ideas in many sectors. Under the scheme, the loan amount of up to rupees 1 lakh is offered to the borrower, and they also provided a training for 15 to 20 days. And the period of repayment is 3 to 7 years of the loan amount. The other is microcredit for the self-help groups. Self-help groups, which are actually the groups of women, and it is, I think, a revolution, kind of revolution in the field of women empowerment that has been started in India. The microcredit scheme for the self-help groups is run for the members of the SHGs or the self-help group, generally for the ladies or the women who live in the rural areas or in the slum sections of the urban areas. The National Ministry Development and Finance Corporation looks out for the scheme. In the microcredit scheme, as the name suggests, the little or micro amount of rupees 1 lakh to the members to the self-help groups with a 7% rate of interest. The period of refund of this loan is 3 years. Then there is a self-employment lending scheme. The self-employment lending scheme is run by the National Ministry Development and Finance Corporation for the minor community to make them self-employed. The maximum value of loan amount sanctioned under this credit line term 2 is rupees 30 lakhs and the credit line term is 20 lakhs. The rate of interest charged on this amount to the minor communities is 3% and the repayment tenure is 5 years. Then there are like the Pradhan Mantri Mudra scheme, in which many young innovators do things out of the box. The central government introduced the Pradhan Mantri Mudra scheme to encourage these innovators to self-employment. The schemes provide the facility of credit to different micro, small, and medium enterprises. It includes the Shishu loan. The loan provided in the Shishu loan has maximum limit of rupees 50,000, and this loan is provided to set up the new business. Then there is the Kishore loan, in which the amount ranges from rupees 50,000 to rupees 5 lakhs, and this loan is given to those existing industries which want to purchase the new equipment and raw materials. Then there is the Tarun loan, in which the loan amount ranges from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, and it is provided to the enterprises and the businesses which are already existing and want to run at a large scale. So these are the few schemes. But if we look at the schemes, yes, the common thing over here is where the government actually aims to provide help to the younger generation, to add to the women, to start with their own enterprises, to start with their own business, right? So along with this, it is not that the government has only stressed upon giving loans to this through different schemes, but actually the national education policy that has been started by the government, which we, in India, which we call as the NEP 2020, because it was started because it was actually reframed. There were many changes made in the education policy in 2020. So here there are some of the especially in the higher education, it stresses on research, innovation, and entrepreneurship, so that when the students when they are students, when they're actually studying the college, and when they come out of the college, they come out as they are capable of starting their own small ventures. So I would like to discuss about some of the aspects of NEP 2020 that are encouraging research, innovation, and entrepreneurship. Because when we talk about self-employment, of course, we need to prepare the younger generation for it. So under NEP 2020, the government of India has proposed to set up National Research Foundation to strengthen the research ecosystem in India. It aims to seed, grow, and facilitate research at academic institutes, particularly universities and colleges. The NRF will be governed independently of the government by a rotating board of governors consisting of the best researchers and innovations across fields. NRF will provide a reliable base of merit-based but equitable peer-reviewed research funding, helping to develop a culture of research in the country. This is achieved through appropriate incentives for and recognition of outstanding research at universities and other public institutions where research capability is currently limited. The NRF will completely fund research in all disciplines. It has already granted more than rupees 5,000 crores in the field of research. Successful research will be recognized and where relevant implemented through close linkages with government agencies and with private philanthropic organizations. In the light of NEP, NRF will have to perform various functions that include to find competitive peer-reviewed grant proposals of all types and across all disciplines, to growing and facilitate research at academic institutions, particularly at universities and colleges, where research is currently in the nascent stage. Through mentoring of such institutions, some agencies currently fund research at different levels. They are Department of Science and Technology, Department of Atomic Energy, Department of Biotechnology, Indian Council of Social Science Research, Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Indian Council of Medical Research, Indian Council of Historical Research, and University Grants Commission. NEP emphasizes the process of innovation. Yes, I'm coming to the second part, that is innovation. It emphasizes the process of innovation through quality research. Once the innovation involves, it needs to spread or pass from one person to another, from one country to another, and it is a process. This process of the spread of innovation of new technologies or ideas over geographical space is known as diffusion. Diffusion or innovation is an integral part of the growth and development of an economy. There are 4 stages in the diffusion of the innovation process: primary stage, diffusion stage, condensation stage, and the saturation stage. The primary stage is the initial stage when an innovation is introduced and very few adopters of the innovation. The diffusion stage generally lasts from 5 to 10 years with more adopters. In the condensation stage, a good number of adopters further increase, knowing the advantages of the innovation. When most people in a society, region, or country adopt, innovation is known as a saturation state. Research and innovation at education institutions in India, particularly those engaged in higher education, is critical. And evidence from the world's best universities throughout history shows that best teaching and learning process at the higher education level occur in an environment with an intense research and knowledge creation culture. Conversely, much of the best research in the world has happened in multidisciplinary university settings. NEP has set a goal that by 2025, at least 50% of learners through school and higher education systems shall have exposure to vocational education. making them learn at least one vocation and expose them to several more by integrating vocational education into all schools and higher education institutions in a phased manner over the next decade. Importantly, NEP 2020 also encourages different models of vocational education in schools so that locally relevant skill education can be offered in an appropriate manner. Emphasis on holistic education, the inclusion of research and internships in the undergraduate curriculum, faculty career management systems that give due weightage to research, the governance and the regulatory changes that encourage an environment of research and innovation. These aspects are highly critical to developing a research mindset in the country. And then coming to the third aspect, that is entrepreneurship. The concept of entrepreneurship broadly relates to the entrepreneur, his or her vision and implementation. So it is a process in which an entrepreneur performs various economic activities and undertakes to establish an enterprise by taking all risk and uncertainties. The term entrepreneurship is a French word, entreprendre, which means who's undertaking risk of new enterprises. The key element in the process of entrepreneurship is the entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is the process of the creation and innovation of an entrepreneur. The concept of entrepreneurship was developed in the 17th century, and now it is becoming a common issue in the current changing socio-economic environment. However, if we talk about entrepreneurship, it involves creating wealth by bringing together resources in new ways to start and operate an enterprise having high risk and uncertainties. It results from a disciplined, systematic approach of applying creativity and innovation to needs and opportunities in the workplace. So if we want to encourage actually self-employment for the youth, yes, this creativity, innovation, research. So each and every education, I was talking about some of the initiatives that are taken by the government through the education policy to foster innovation, research, and entrepreneurship and at the higher educational institution or right from the school level. Well, one thing that I would like to state over here is with the some of the initiatives like Institute Innovation Council and National Innovation and Startup Policy that the government has started in the higher education institutes, the students right from their undergraduate days, they are being encouraged to have their own startups. But it is not just that we should encourage them to bring up their own startups, but we have to help them to be more creative and innovative. And we have to help them so that these startups are actually converted into real-time business ventures. Because yes, we can see there are a number of startups that are being getting registered, but yes, many of them just fail in a few years or in few months. So the education system that has changed, where the innovation, creativity, creative thinking, critical thinking, all those things are being, it is being introduced into the education system. We are trying to create an education system where all these qualities should be imbibed. Otherwise, earlier, the academics that we had, it was only learning and just studying something, not just learning. But here now we are focusing on the approach where they should be learning. They should be knowing about critical thinking aspect. They should be knowing about creative thinking, research, innovation, entrepreneurship. They should be knowing about all these terms. And when we let the children, we let the students know about this, yes, of course, they can be entrepreneurs. They can go for self-employment. They can have better opportunities to become job givers rather than job seekers. And if we go towards this all those steps, I think, yes, we can truly realize the goal of self-reliant India. Thank you. This was all which I had from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Anjum. Thank you so much for your valuable inputs. And we look forward to a prosperous and glorious self-reliant India and as well as different parts of the world. Maybe move on to the next speaker, Dr. Nada.
Yes, we have an amazing doctor coming from the Philippines. So I can't wait to hear our great, amazing Dr. Leoncio Calderon.
Hello, everyone. Okay,
Yes, sir. May I take a moment to introduce you to all the speakers and other members. Dr. Leoncio Calderon, or Sir Noli, is part of University of Philippines, Laud graduate, and he has 2 doctorates to his credit. He is one of the architects of a proactive, flexible, and relevant education of St. Mark Integrated School, where he serves as the vice principal. And since last year, he's received his mentorship certificate, and he's a certified career counselor. And he's also awarded the Best Global Educator from IIU and the Most Inspiring Man Award from Golden Book of the Earth and Outstanding Filipino Servant Leader. And he has 5 international diplomas from St. James University in Postville and Pennsylvania, USA. In March 2023, he and his wife, Dr. Rizalina, were awarded Outstanding Global Educators in the Vietnam International Achievers Award. And apart from this, he's also a licensed real estate broker and appraiser. A hearty welcome to you, sir. We look forward to getting and listening to your inputs on how industrialization plays a pivotal role in the growth of global economy and how it helps us achieve a sustainable world.
And Dr. Sandy, I want to say something. He is a real example of an entrepreneur in education. And when he gives his CV to introduce him, he don't give a lot, but he has so many contributions to this education system, not only in the Philippines, around the globe. So Dr. Noli, next time we want your version, not be like, everybody wants to say the best. So please, next time we want more about you because the world needs to know you.
I thought I'm going to sing or something else, but I give the
Happy
deference
Friendship
to.
Day. Happy Friendship Day.
Yes, and I won't try to overshadow Ma'am Jeannie. She's the better actor than me. Okay, let me share my
You can, Dr.
presentation.
Nolly, you can. And
Okay.
Dr. Jani is learning us and we will be great actors because we say we don't need masks, but we need to know how to act. Okay. We want to see you.
Okay, so included all of the speakers and my picture and my country flag. So what's your takeaway with this Gary Larson's illustration? Early experiments in transportation. In Filipino, so when we feel a sudden pain, we exclaim, interjection, aray. So in your country, Professor Nada, how would you say a sudden pain especially when you're going to roll with the stone, if you're the one on top of the stone? So what's the word for pain when you feel pain, Professor Nada?
Ball.
Ball.
B-O-L. Ball. I feel ball in my heart.
Ball. Okay. How about you, Jeannie? What would you say in America? What's the word for sudden pain?
It is pain.
I can't hear you, Ma'am Jeannie.
Miss Jenny, unmute yourself. Madame Jenny.
Ma'am, you're on mute.
Yes, I'm unmuting now, but if we're about ready to get hurt, we go, yikes!
Yikes. 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 Oh, yes. How about in India? How would you say if you feel pain? Or Indonesia with our speaker also? You just open your mics and try to say when you suddenly feel pain. Especially if you're on top of that, you're going to roll down the hill with a big stone underneath you. So in India, how would you say that? Is there a word
I
for
think
pain?
it's going to be the same reaction like ouch or mine, my God.
Oh my God. Okay, so so you're asking God to save you. Probably he will be too late to do that.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that's our takeaway for our first illustration. It may probably change your perception later as we go along with my presentation. So what is industrialization? Industrialization is a transformation away from an agricultural or resource-based economy toward an economy based on mechanized manufacturing. So when we talk about the history of industrial revolution, we have 4 stages. So what are industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0? So the first illustration, the cartoon is O. It's not all right, but oh my God, as as you already said, it's an O. So we start from something. Anyway, there's someone who's already to write the scientifically what will happen to the one on top of the rolling rock. So what's the history from industry 1.0 to 4.0? What are the difference between these industrial revolutions? What are the challenges of industry 4.0? So the industrial revolution 1.0 began in the 18th century, covering the period between 1760 to 1840. It was characterized by major transitions that changed the existing economies of different continents. Before the Industrial Revolution, most of the economies were based on simple handicrafts and agriculture. However, as the revolution started, the economies began to be based on new factory systems, large-scale industries, and mechanized manufacturing. Also, new industries were developed, and these featured modern power sources, modern machines, and even new strategies of organizing different departments in industries. The landmark technologies that characterize Industry 1.0 were the machines powered by water and steam. A good example of such machines is the weaving loom, which was first developed in 1784. Other machines that were invented during these periods include the water wheel, more complex spinning wheels, and the steam engine. These newly invented machines allowed workers to produce goods in large quantities. Also, they made the production process much more efficient and cost-effective. As a result, most small businesses grew and developed to become large organizations that serve a larger number of people. The advancing of technologies especially brought significant benefits to the textile and transportation industries. The second industrial revolution, Industry 2.0, began in the 19th century around the 1870s. It mainly occurred in Germany, America, and Britain. Some historians also refer to this period as the technological revolution era. It mainly involved industrial processes that use machines powered by electrical energy. Up until this point, industries were already using electricity as one of the driving forces. However, it was not until the second industrial revolution that electrical machines were invented. Compared with water and steam-based machines, electrical machines were much more efficient, easier to operate and maintain. More so, they were very cost-effective, requiring fewer resources and human effort than the machines used during the first industrial revolution. The third industrial revolution is also commonly referred to as the digital revolution or the first computer era. It began in the 20th century around the 1970s. During this period, simple yet relatively large computers were developed. These computers had quite a good computing power, and they laid a strong foundation for the development of modern-day machines. Information technology, IT, and electronics were introduced in many production processes, furthering automation in the manufacturing processes, following the use of renewable energy in the production industries, as well as the development of connectivity and internet access. It is crucial to note that Industry 3.0, the third industrial revolution, is still present even today. In most modern day factories and production industries, it is due to the invention of these technologies rather, that we can now automate entire production processes. Good example of these are robots, which can be programmed to perform certain activities by themselves without any human intervention. Industry 4.0 is the industrial revolution being currently implemented in our modern world. As a development of the third industrial revolution, this era is characterized by the use of communication and smart information technologies in various industries. Also, network connections are used to expand production systems that already incorporate automation and computer technologies. The fourth industrial revolution has led to efficient networking or interconnectivity of systems, also known as the cyber physical production systems or CPS. In turn, this invention has led to the development of smart manufacturing and factories where all production is almost completely automated production systems, people, and components communicate thanks to a unique network. Also, this current revolution has dramatically changed how people work. It allows more efficient way of working by pulling individuals into smarter networks. The manufacturing industry is almost entirely digitalized, making it easier to pass information to the right people at the right time. So that's what we call now an artificial intelligence. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 is considered the era of production facilities, storage systems, and smart machines that can trigger actions, control devices, and exchange information autonomously without any human intervention. This ideal distribution of information is made possible through the industrial Internet of Things. Still, more and more advancements are expected to be made, and new Industry 4.0 examples are coming up by the day. Another important aspect of the fourth industrial revolution is the increased attention to sustainability and environmental issues. Sustainable development, as defined by the three pillars of sustainability, environment, economic, and social sustainability, is not only seen as a necessity to be more eco-friendly and conserve natural resources for future generations, but it's also an opportunity to improve the efficiency of manufacturing processes and improve business profitability. Effects of industrialization. The innovations allowed for the mass production of commercial goods. As manufacturing activities grew, transportation, finance, and communication industries all expanded to support the new production capacity. It also led to increased labor specialization and allowed cities to support larger populations, motivating a rapid demographic shift. People left rural areas in large numbers, seeking jobs in budding industries, and drove the growth of cities. Industrialization led to unprecedented expansion in wealth and financial well-being for many. A larger middle class emerged as consumer demand for more goods and services grew and business creation boomed to feed the demand. The evolution of the world population, as you can see from thousands of years ago until our year zero, which had 190 million. When it came to 1700s, it's 600 million. In the event when Industrial Revolution happened in the 1760s, population explosion. There's a population explosion. So you can see the line going up straight instead of a gradual or what is skyrocketed up. The socialist nations of the 20th century repeatedly embarked on centrally planned programs of industrialization. These include the first and second five-year plans in the Soviet Union and the Great Leap Forward in China. While these efforts did reorient the respective economies toward a more industrial base and an increase in output of industrial commodities, they were also accompanied by harsh government repression, deteriorating living and working conditions for workers, and even widespread starvation. So when you say there's no time for Stalin, there's also a way of saying it, there's no time for stalling. So there's no time for stalling. So let the boulder, the round boulder go. Let it roll down the hill. Hopefully, when it comes up, if you try another try, nobody gets hurt. And you will see, ouch, yikes, aray, and hopefully it will not hurt anymore. But of course, he's dead already. A particular country, may it be Germany, Slovenia, Australia, Singapore, or United States, can serve as a validation platform in a global context due to its multiculturalism and high level of urbanization, combined with vast distances between centers that have been shortened due to internet and transportation and communications technology. Regardless how small or big a market may be, operations show sufficient complexity and depth to function as test markets for new products, processes, or educational concepts. As a result, developing, prototyping, and validating products and services in a diversified country provides a perfect platform to export ideas to the global world. This is particularly important in relation to new technologies as a G20 member or not come to the acceptance and update of technology by society. Based on this premise, any country can employ a living laboratory concept as first coined in Singapore, allowing companies, governments, research centers, and educational institutions to develop new concepts and prototypes for test bedding in the market until they go into regional or global markets. Industrialization has been linked to sustained per capita GDP growth in every period of recorded history. Industrialization involves a change in the types of predominant labor activity, from farming to manufacturing, and an increase in the productive level of economic output. As you can see in the graph, when I first look at it, what is W offshoots? I thought they were plants, but they're actually Western offshoots. So what countries are the Western offshoots? America, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. So Western offshoots. I don't know if we can grow land from currently, but hopefully there will be no offshoots, or you will be shut out from the global context. GDP. I mentioned about GDP. Gross domestic product is the standard measure on the value added created through the production of goods and services in a country during a certain period. As such, it also measures the income earned from that production, or the total amount spent on final goods and services. So when you talk about industrialization, it directly connects to gross domestic product. So recently, we have now figures from World Bank, World Development Indicators. It might be so small that I have to look out also close to it. When you see the world in 1990s, that's about 22 trillion in dollars. Then it becomes 33 trillion in 2000, 66, doubled in 2010, and currently in 22, that's 100 trillion dollars. So from 1990 to 2020, in a span of 32 years, the global gross domestic product have fivefold, has multiplied fivefold. If you look closely at when you compare Japan and China in 1990s, 3 trillion for Japan, China is only 360 billion. 20 years after, China overtook Japan 6 billion to 5.7. In 2022, China now is 17 trillion as against Japan's 4.2. So you can see the shift of gross domestic product and in all of the countries listed here, I only posted some of the countries because it's quite impossible to post all of the countries, but I just put up some since we cannot include everything here. So if you can also see Singapore at 2020, the one below, the one table below, 466 trillion in 2022 gross domestic product. And in Philippines, 404. Don't be lulled into saying that we're comparable in the sense that we're not far off. But come to think that Singapore is only a small portion in land area with us, and we are 117 million against 6 million 14,000 with that. And if you divide the gross domestic product of 406, if you have a calculator with you, 466 million divided by 6 million, that's about 77 million per capita income. For every person in Singapore, it's the prorated amount given to the particular Singaporean. While when you divide $404 million with our population 117, it's only about $3,500. So World Bank classified as a lower middle income group when it comes to per capita income. But when you see this from 1990, 22 billion, 2022 world's gross domestic product, 100 trillion, you can see industrialization is the key to growth of the global economy. Okay, the question again, did industrialization affect the global economy? So it's a resounding, is it no or yes? My able speaker, yes. Industrialization has been instrumental in the economic development of the world. The process has improved productivity and allowed for mass production, which has increased standards of living. Now, who want to roll down the hill? Are we going to roll down the hill with us probably on top of the stone, or we just let the boulder roll down without someone on top? Hope you enjoy my share. Thank you very much, and mabuhay.
Mabuhay, mabuhay, dear Dr. Nolly. It was amazing, your start, and we know how you motivated your students and why you are an inspiration, doing such a great work, and every time new surprise from your side. So starting with this experiments in transportation, explaining us what is industrialization through the first, giving us highlights from the start, from the factories, from giving that what is about the water, the steam, giving the highlights of the second industrialization. It was really a great journey. It was really a great journey with through this industrialization, through this industrial revolutions, talking about digital revolution, robots, digitalization, automatization, all the computers, mobiles, softwares, internet, robotics. Then coming to the fore with the highlights, we know that we still have these highlights in progress, automation, smart systems, Internet of Things, AI, big data, cloud computing, and especially very important what you say, focusing on the sustainability. After that, a brief walk through the research, through the evolution of the world population. These numbers really are very, very, I can say, scaring the numbers. And yes, touching this, we have so many bad things in the world still now, the war and etc. So pointing on Singapore, pointing on Slovenia, where we are the centers of the industrialization, and giving this research facts in the correlation with the GDP, and we go through this to the world, comparing to the world, talking about Japan, China, Singapore, Slovenia, United States, United Kingdom, the Philippines, and I can say thank God that the Philippines have you like an amazing educator, principal, and you're beautiful and great woman working with you, supporting you. I wish you more success. And this early experiments in transportation, I hope they will be very soon finished, not only early. So BOL, the ball, the pain, and any word we choose from this, it needs to be our inspiration, motivation, like you, Dr. Noli. Thank you. Any words, anything? Our great Madame Janie, what you say today on our session, on our G20 Summit International from the start? It
Well-
was outstanding, fabulous. Let us hear from who said today drama. This is really a big drama.
I love the presentations today. I posted some positive comments in the chat if you're interested, but especially Dr. Calderon, I really loved this walk through history here. I really appreciate that because, you know, I spend a lot of time thinking and reading, but not about the points that you made. And I think that you brought home some things that I need to pay attention to. All of the speakers today were outstanding. I just loved, you know, when I listened to Dr. Queen Elizabeth, and I realized how empathetic and compassionate a person she is. It really touches my heart. And I appreciate what everybody had to say today. Every single speaker touched me and added to my knowledge. So thank you very much for inviting me here.
You are most welcome. Dr. Queen, please, any comment? Anything to say at the end?
Yes, I want to say thank you so much for this great opportunity to come together and to share, and also to learn from my great leaders on this platform. As you can see, I'm a scholar and I'm also a learner. I've got my notes here, so you can be assured that I'm going to be taking some actions and also reflecting and revealing and getting better. Because as a leader, we are all transformational leaders, and we need to be learning from one another. That makes it unique, because no one knows it all and no one is perfect. So I want to say thank you so much. If I continue to mention names, then Professor Nada will just console me on that time. But I want to say I appreciate you all. Ma'am from USA, Jamie, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for everything you've shared with us today. And I want to say thank you to all my great, distinguished, superhero leaders on this platform. Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you, Professor Nada, for this great, successful conference. We love you and God bless you.
God bless you, Dr. Queen. And let us once again repeat the 7 days of the challenges. We need to remember this, all our great, amazing participants today who is supporting us. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. I hope that all of you are very satisfied with this G20 International Summit on the topic entrepreneurship and MSME. It was really awesome. So let us repeat from our great Dr. Queen. First is disagreement. Remember that. Disappointed, as we are all sometimes very disappointed, disrespected, diffusion, disunited. We don't need to be disunited. We are so united here. Disconnections, no disconnections. We are all connected. We are collaborating. We are working together, and we will always continue working together, spreading, sharing our knowledge. That is the mission of IIU. That is the mission of our great Sir Piyush Pandit, who is really working very hardly for bringing education to all around the globe. And yes, our great Dr. Queen, who has her own organization. Yes, you can. We are all together. We are all together because we are cooperating. We are making a correlation. Dr. Queen has great master classes on the leadership, on the transformation, transforming the mindset and working on the relationships. And that is very important. So we don't have disconnected and disagreement. So disagreement is the last of the 7. So Dr. Queen, I'm expecting you to talk more about this 7 day of challenges. So in next session, I am waiting you for this. Also, Dr. Noli, your industrialization, we are waiting you again. Dr. Jenny, you inspire today because you show us how to become an entrepreneur, and you are giving your own training. So let us all connected. Let us connected with our great Madame Janie in USA, because we are learning from each other. Dr. Parul started today. We learned from Dr. Parul so many new things about this entrepreneurship, about the situation in India, about the situation in world, what we need to do. Our great Dr. Balai was wonderful. So what to say, Dr. Anjum? We have an amazing esteemed, great guest speakers today sharing knowledge. And yes, you can only get it here at IIU. And yes, you can get it with all our great, advisors like Dr. Queen. And because we are working today, we are giving we are giving us for the education and giving education for all of you. Dr. Srividhya, I'm waiting you. Dr. Srividhya, thank you. Thank you for bringing this G20. Thank you, Dr. Sandy, for being with us and bringing this G20 International Summit in cooperation with International Internship University. We are really honored and thankful.
Thank you, Dr. Nada. That was very kind of you. And thank you, Dr. Quinn, for being here from the beginning, though not from the beginning, till the end of the session. And how would I really congratulate Madam Jeannie, who just joined the session immediately after me, and she was the first one to join the session. Really, it shows the passion, it shows the dedication that we show towards our work and our commitment towards the community. Really, that's really fantabulous. And Dr. Leon, really, your presentation was really fabulous, where you took us a journey and the pathway of the industrialization from Industry 1.0 to 4.0. That was really, really amazing. And that really summed it up, the whole thing. Whole purpose of the summit, as you know, like what we have mentioned today, is modernizing and strengthening the industrial units to make them globally competent. And we have covered it all through the globe, across the globe, starting from India and also moving to US, talking about the pitch, the business pitch that is we have discussed well in detail with Dr. Jeannie. And now summing up with Dr. Leon about industrialization, creating job opportunities through self-employment schemes, bringing in basic infrastructure of industrial development and digital compliance and competence. And of course, we just missed on one simple point, that revival of sick and closed industrial units, that we need to work with innovation. Innovation is not something creating new, jeopardizing the present situation. It's like combating, modifying the present situation to make it sustainable, to make it acceptable with the innovative models that we are going to implement for. So that moving ahead, and these will the recommendations that we take forward to Think 7 recommendations, which will act as a process for promoting lifelong learning opportunities for future of work, achieving sustainable global economy, and collaboration and partnership of national and international levels. So that's the main rationale of this whole G20. And thanks to Ms. Nada, Dr. Nada, thanks to Dr. Piyush Pandit, who has given us this platform of bringing the G20 International to IIU. And we always take the pride of representing it on this platform, prestigious platform of IIU, definitely. And we have more projects to come forth. On that note, Ms. Sandy, are we going to take it forward to just announce the future projects?
Yes, we can do it.
Dr.
May I request you to share the
can
screen?
can we ask Dr. Parul for the last few words also before we come to the end? Dr. Parul, please.
Yes, good evening. Very good evening again to everyone. So I was a bit busy in my work, but I was listening to all the eminent speakers. And it was wonderful listening to each and every one of you. I was noting all the points, and I asked Professor Neda to give me the live streaming link also, so that I can make some notes and would be able to prepare some kind of research paper out of this G20 summit. Because I am very keen to write the research articles, and recently I was working with NADA also to write one research paper, and it was wonderful being here, and it was wonderful opportunity. I look forward for further more opportunities from different countries, if I can contribute in any manner for the betterment of our nation and for the harmony of all the nations together. Thank you so much from India. Namaste to everyone.
You are always welcome, Dr. Parul, always.
Dr. Parul, I'm waiting to see the paper from you. We would like to take it as our patent. Representing MSME and entrepreneurship. Thank you so much.
Yes, sure, ma'am. I believe that because MSMEs belongs to the bottom of pyramid, every country is having a, if we consider every country as a triangular in shape, the MSME lies at the bottom of pyramid. And if we can see, the bottom of pyramid is the widest area of triangle. And these MSMEs have a lot of potential that they can contribute to the economy and to the world as a whole.
On that note, I would like to contribute. My whole objective or the rationale of bringing G20 or creation of G20 is I really want to take it to the younger generation. I mean, the schools and the education institutions. Since you said you're already going to work on the patent of MSME and entrepreneurship, I'm very eager to have this financial literacy as a major subject. Students need not think about secondary level to learn about financial literacy. As we all have developed the habit of, we all have the habit of having a small piggy bank. And we have grown with that. And the child always has a pride of carrying the piggy bank with them. That is the actual quintessence of talking about MSME, entrepreneurship, financials, and also as Dr. Jean was mentioning about the bit that we are talking about, the dragon's den that we are talking about, anything and everything which is related to the financial literacy.
And Dr. Srividhya, you don't know, we are experts in the financial literacy. That is we are experts in that.
Yeah, that's from the grassroots level. So please highlight it and take it forward to all the education institutions. That's what is actually required. And it starts from home. It starts from the self rather than talking something, delivering it to the community. You start it from yourself and you take it forward such that you become a reflection for the community. And the reflection starts from yourself and it's just mirroring. Self-mirroring is very, very important on this note. Exactly. And discipline of finance, handling finance, yes, handling finance, self-discipline in handling finance starts from the self, and then it reflects to the community, and then it reflects to the nation, and then in the global level, in the international level, definitely. And how to contribute, how to help people, how to, there's always a room for one's need rather than one's greed. Hope everybody will agree with me. So where there is a need, there we will suffice, there we will provide, and definitely not for somebody's greed. So that also to be taken into account. And these are the things that we need to take it forward to the younger generation on this note. And that's what the whole conference or the whole objective is all about. So as we are all educators, if we leave it open that we keep talking and we allow more and more things to contribute and more ideas will come. And that's what the forum is all about. It's just sharing good ideas, a better knowledge that we take it forward. So thank you so much. Over to Ms. Sandy. Ms. Sandy, please, can we have the planner?
Yeah, may I request you to share the screen?
So this is about the different projects, the forthcoming projects that we have. Oh, wow. Yes, there we go. Hope everybody is able to see my screen. Is the screen visible or is it still loading?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay, over to you, Ms. Sandy.
Yeah, so we began this, thank you, Dr. Vidya. We began this session on the 9th of July with Education 360 with the idea of promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. And then the next week, we spoke about women empowerment, closer to the idea of to have a paradigm shift from individual to leadership development and community partnership, where women was the central focus. And then we had spoken about digitization and innovation last week, and about the next production revolution and how we can achieve sustainable growth. And today we brainstormed ideas about entrepreneurship and MSME. And the next week we will talk about, which is the 6th of August, we will talk about energy, resources and sources, sustainability and employability. And 13th of August, we will focus on health as well, and agriculture and food security. So here we will talk about a global view of GVC's pattern and opportunities and the role of policy. On 20th of August, we will talk about inclusion, financial architecture, and informational growth with our presidency as accelerated, inclusive, and resilient growth. On 27th of August, the focus will be on international taxation, trade, and investment with highlights on exports and imports. And here our presidency will be to reform, reshape, and restructure and reconstitute the international tax structure. 3rd September will mark the day for heritage, culture, and tourism. And on 10th September, we will look forward on the 2030 agenda and sustainable development, with our presidency being accelerating progress towards the SDG for an ambitious G20 action plan. And on 17th September 23, we will conclude our sessions and have a session on publishing papers and patent submission. So we look forward to seeing you next Sunday and the Sundays ahead, with all great ideas to culminate into a sustainable world.
Thank you, Sandy. And it was definitely a wonderful platform with eminent speakers. Eminent means eminent speakers and honorable chief guests and guests joining us week after week, such that we always look forward for the Sunday. It has become really a passion in us, such that we always look forward this 3-hour session, and the planning goes on. Starting from this today evening, tonight it starts. The planning starts for the next week, and as such, we invite speakers, and Dr. Nada is always helping us in bringing in brilliant speakers on this forum. And it's just end of the day, what is it? Is equity, collaboration, where we get to know each other, sharing best practices, and what I know that I'm willing to share with you, and whom I know I'm willing to just bring them to you, such that it is helpful to you. Mutually, it is going to help me as well, so that we are able to move forward as a community, as one global community. That's what we are looking for. One world with one thought and one vision, such that we all move together in a lateral way, such that everybody is a winner. There's nobody a loser as we think forward. Yes, Ms. Nada.
I think that we really come to the end of the session. We make this at the end, the summary. It was really amazing. I'm looking forward for our next Sunday on the topic of the energy, because that is really very important topic. We know that so many countries still all over the world don't have electricity. We are bringing inventions. We have so many new patents, and what is the biggest problem? We don't have the 5G, 6G electricity. So our great researchers, inventors are bringing so many new things, and we really need to act. And who is here responsible? We know that it is that is our governance, that are our governments who needs to take responsibility for solving these problems. I want a big smile. First, I want to thanks once again to our great founders, Piyush Pandit, for giving us this opportunity. Also, I want to wish to my and our great IIU team, who is today on the 7-day bike up, doing the biggest interactive project. There are so many educators from all around the world. Our core team members are all there in India, except Nada. Nada is in Croatia, but one day Nada will come in India. So I want to say that, and till our next session, next Sunday, stay safe, stay healthy, and let us continue learning and growing together, collaborating and doing great things for this world. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Friendship Day to all.
Yes, and once again, happy Friendship Day to all. And yes, Nada will make a beautiful photo. So a big smile from all. 1, 2, 3. Yes, it will be a great, great photo. Thank you all. See you. Bye. Bye.
Until we see you next week. Thank you.
Yes, next week.
Bye bye. Happy
Bye.
Friendship Day
Bye-bye.
once again to one and all.
Mabuhay,
Yes.
mabuhay.
Yes, mabuhay, mabuhay. Dr. Noli, mabuhay.
Thank you
Thank
and
you.
bye-bye.
Bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.